And by the way, there's something important you have said about hanging out with guys. So, do you think peer pressure actually contributes to some of the smartest people not to really pursue their maximum potential?
Yeah, so I believe that. And I believe the people you hang around with, your friends, like affect your life, can affect your goals. So if you're an entrepreneur, you hang around with people who are successful in entrepreneurship. So for me, I've formed different circles concerning or about different goals I have. So if it's church or Christianity, I have circles of people that inspire me. If it's about families, I have people who inspire me, people I want to be like them. If it's entrepreneurship, I have people who are close to me. So I have different circles of people who inspire me in different ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. That's quite something there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you are. So your father changes you the school, or
yeah. So he
at this point,
he looked for a really good school. It's a school called Memon High School. Majority of the students there are Indians.
So even the culture is quite different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Culture is very different. So like it was a different environment for me. Because I've come from like a remote school and moved to a school where like it's really good. The facilities are different. Like the education level there is different. Teachers are really good.
Yes.
So many resources.
Yes.
Computer labs.
Yes.
So many things. I really liked that school. Yeah. And in the school I moved from, I was number one. In this school, I knew nothing. So that was really good for me because
you are like the guy who was closing the door when people are called.
Yeah, not
those
so bad.
Those who
so
are
bad.
performed.
But I would say, I think it was a class of like 50. So I think I was around number 20 there.
Well, that is not bad. But given your aspiration and what you wanted to achieve,
you
realize you are number one of the of the others.
Yes. And that's what when I said I wanted a good school, that's what I was
looking for. A challenge.
Yeah, because if you go to a good school, a school that is performing,
yes,
you're also going to perform well.
Yeah.
So for me, like environment matters. So you can be very smart, but if you're in a bad environment,
nothing matters.
Yeah, that can affect your progress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what tactics do you use here? Do you study the behavior, or how do you maneuver the system?
It's at that point I already learned how to learn.
Already you had the lessons.
Yeah, I got enough lessons. So what's remaining is to work hard and to take full advantage of the opportunities around. Yeah, the good teachers, materials, and like everything required.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I worked hard, and the teachers really helped me. Yeah, and also got into computer studies. So I had not done computer studies in first year. Form 1 and Form 2.
Yes.
Then in this new school,
there was in the other school there was computer studies.
No, there's no computer studies.
There's not even a computer.
Not even a computer.
What?
Yeah.
And by the way, do you know, even up to today, Banta, and I think this is something we'll discuss at some point. There are still schools which don't have computers, and this is very sad.
Yeah.
Given that we're in this field, and maybe we should, I don't know, maybe we should try and address some of those issues with time, given we're addressing them as individuals.
Yeah.
Yes, but we'll talk about that some other time.
I agree.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing for the community.
Yep.
And we've been doing that for many years.
Yeah.
And we'll continue doing more of that.
Yeah.
And see how we can continue to empower people.
For sure.
Yeah.
So here now there's computer studies. And by the way, there is an interesting question I want to ask. So how is this do you get like culture shock with the Indians? Were you able to hang around with them? How did they study? Was it the same as Mazera's?
There was culture shock. Because also most of them were coming from wealthy families.
Privileged.
Yeah. So there were some who even drove themselves
You are here coming.
Like in
Was
high
it a day school?
It was a day school.
So you are here coming with Futsubishi,
Yeah.
and someone is coming with 4-wheel.
Yeah.
What?
So there was a culture shock, but that inspired me. That
it's all in the mind.
yeah, I need to do well. Because for most of them, in fact, majority of them after high school went into family businesses, got married.
So life was set up for them.
So for them, they were doing okay. So for me, I had to really work hard.
Yes.
Because there was no like family business to go to.
You have to set yourself up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So got really challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I did my best.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think what was so when I started the computer science, the computer studies classes, that was also like the beginning of my career right now. Yeah.
So you understood that computers could do some amazing stuff.
Yeah. But before that,
Yes.
like 3 months before, I enrolled in computer packages classes. And that was my first encounter with computers. So when I went to that school, I knew I want to do, like if there's a computer studies classes, I need to also enroll because I really like it. Yeah.
What did you like about computer studies specifically?
So from the beginning, I liked electronics. And I also liked cartoons. I also liked games.
Visuals.
The fact that I was able to... Yeah, the fact that the things I learned. And computers back then, I think they were... I would say, like, for you to interact with a computer, it was a very big deal.
They were not also powerful as they are nowadays.
Yeah. So when I got that opportunity and then tried learning how to create cartoons, tried learning coding using the Excel, Microsoft Office macros. Yeah, so I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Nice.
And what I liked about computers compared to what I was doing in primary school, like repairing electronics, this one didn't require so much resources to start a business.
So it was not capital intensive.
Yeah, you just need to have access to a computer, and that's it.
Okay. That is interesting because also that's why most of the guys who get into software engineering just need a computer and the internet.
Yeah.
You're set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here you are, you study computer studies, you do computer studies, you have done your packages. But I understand for you to really understand how computers work, you need to understand also some of the sciences, like physics.
Yeah.
And I'm sure here you're repairing capacitors in radios and transistors in some of the electronic gadgets. And now you're studying these things now in the book, and now you realize I was fixing these things like soldering one and things work, but this what transistor is, this what capacitor is. And then you're in a computer. Were you curious to like open one of the computers and see if it's the same as radio?
Yeah, at some point I bought my own desktop, and I learned so many things. I was opening it almost every day.
You bought yourself a desktop?
Yeah, so my father bought one.
Oh, after seeing you have the interest.
My passion grew and saw that I have interest in computers, and he bought me a desktop.
Your dad was so supportive.
Yeah, he was. And he's the reason why I'm doing computer science.
Nice. You did
doing
computer
what I'm
science,
doing
yeah.
Because without going to the computer packages classes, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know where he got that idea.
Yeah, because guys used to go to even right now, maybe guys go to do computer packages after Form 4.
Yes.
Here you're in Form 2, Form 3, and you did the computer studies.
Because he asked me, Banta, what are you going to... So it was during school holidays. And it will take like a month. So what are you going to do for an entire month? Just go across the road. There's a
A cyber. Did you do it in a cyber or there was a college?
It's a small college, but
okay.
mostly focusing on packages. Yeah. It's like a cyber, not too big. Yeah. So I did my classes there and I passed, got distinctions. It was this like national
examination body.
Yeah.
Was it NEC?
I think it's NEC, or maybe a different. There's a different one. Yeah. So
yeah, even
I got the certificates.
Yeah.
Got distinctions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's the reason why I did.
So you started becoming curious, like, can I program? Can I?
Yeah.
What does it take to do? Did you have like an idea about computer science, things like software engineering?
Not much. You see, when I picked that computer studies a subject, so there was a computer science teacher who did not think that was a good idea for me.
A computer science or computer studies?
Computer studies teacher, or the teacher for that subject.
So did he discourage you?
He discouraged me because, you see, I haven't done computer studies Form 1 and Form 2. And from nowhere, I'm just taking this subject. So
as an elective.
I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
And if I'll fail, if I'm going to fail, then I'm also going to affect
the grades.
The grades, which will also affect his compensation.
In that school, by the way, is it one of the schools where people, if they got good grades, a teacher was compensated according to those grades?
Yeah.
As a they used to call it, I don't know, motivation something.
Yeah.
So for him, it was not from love and empathy. It was from, you're affecting my pay.
Yeah, and I wasn't like really good. Because even like operating the computer, like even typing, because could see that the other students were like typing very fast. When it came to like formatting documents, exams,
they had a very good idea about it.
They were really good. Microsoft Access, creating like simple projects. So I was struggling with those things.
But for him, was he okay? That's why maybe again he was not empathetic, because for you you're starting then, and these other guys maybe had an head start maybe when they were in primary school.
Yeah,
and I think that's very important. Even when we like talk to our kids or our friends or people who are in school, sometimes you have to understand where someone is, so that you can be able to either advise him or help him or guide them. Because if you judge them from what you see and you don't know if they're starting or what is bothering them, because I also understand there's some students who also have other troubles beside the school, and that actually becomes a problem for them to perform. And the teachers or the parents or the guardians or friends who take time to understand that, they're able to help them, because they talk out of empathy and love and passion to make sure that they also succeed. So that's very, very important to note, especially for anyone who has someone you're worried about their performance and everything. And I meant to ask you this. I knew even right now, when most people are growing up, you're like, what do you want to become? Were you ever asked that question at some point? So not from your parent, but from school?
Not really. Because you see, I grew up in a village, and maybe those things did not really matter.
Yeah.
But deep down,
surviving in the village is the most important thing.
And the goal there mostly at that point was, I think school is important. You just need to perform well to make you a better person.
Not what you'll become.
So we grew up knowing that education is the key. So that was the major goal. The major goal we needed to achieve.
And it still is, because if you think about it, maybe you'll not be where you are without education.
Very true.
Yes.
It has played a very big
in Africa, education is key, and that's why even when I look at different countries' policy, and I see how things like education are either from the funding, how people are compensated, the effort that are put across determines that country's success. Look at Botswana, look at Kenya, look at places like South Africa. Education plays a key role to where they are right now.
very true.
And I can't point maybe any other thing besides education that propels this country to be where they are.
Yeah.
Even Egypt, by the way, Tunisia,
Yeah.
right? And not only that, but also some of those government have programs where you go abroad, get that knowledge, come back and implement it, or even if you want to stay there and implement it and come some other time, it's still allowed. So those are some of the key things. So education is still the key. That's the point I was trying to make. Yeah.
Education is still the key. Yeah. I don't think without education, I don't think how far one will get in life.
For sure. So now you do the computer studies.
Yeah.
Did you start performing the sciences and math?
So I think term 1 doing the computer studies, I performed poorly. And
were you discouraged?
So I'm a person who is not discouraged easily.
Yes.
So if I decide this is what I want to achieve, whether it's doing badly or I'll just keep on doing it. And for me, the harder something is, the better.
You love the
I
challenge.
think I don't like comfort zone. I want to do things that people think
are impossible.
Are harder.
Yeah.
So that's what gives me
the mojo. Yeah.
So I performed poorly. The teacher was discouraging me, and I thought at that point, if I'm not going to perform very well, then maybe the next term, the teacher will be justified. Like making me drop that subject.
Okay.
So, but what I did at the end of that term, there's like 1 month holiday.
Yes.
So for the other subject, I was doing well. I was progressing well, apart from computer studies. So I went to the libraries, picked so many books about computers.
So you guys had a well-equipped library.
It was a good school. And like there were so many books that were donated by different organizations.
From the Indian community.
From the Indian community. It's called a Memon community. So like it was a well-stocked library.
But the Memon is like a community like the Aga Khans and the rest.
Yes.
Okay.
It's similar to that. So there's Memon community, there's Aga Khan community, but I think Aga Khan is big and maybe, and there are communities in many countries.
Yes.
Just like the Aga Khan community.
Yes. And they have business entities like Aga Khan?
Yeah, just like Aga Khan. They have hospitals, they have school.
Yes.
That was one of them.
Yes.
In that compound, there was a primary school, nursery school, college, high school, hospital. So many things.
And that's why it's important we take some time and talk about community, because African, in its principle, it's formed through the community. Even how we used to survive before colonialism is through the community. And if we revisit that with the knowledge that we have, I feel like we can really go far. So Form 4. By the way, even before you go to Form 4, were you monolized in school?
So maybe before we go there.
Yes.
So after performing poorly, as I said, I went to the library, picked so many books. And for an entire month, I studied nothing other than computers.
Entire month?
An entire month. Even translated most of the times. So, and then also picked a number of books, because you see, if you go to a library, there are different categories. If you want computer science books about computers and different subjects, you go to particular like shelf. So I picked so many books, and one of those, or maybe some of those books, were biographies. Bill Gates biography, Steve Jobs, and other entrepreneurs, successful or maybe billionaires, I would say. So I also read those books, and that really inspired me, and that's how my dream was born. I decided that
this is the way.
This is what I want to do. I have to learn programming. I have to be really good. And in future, I'm going to create a software company. Or maybe to be an entrepreneur dealing with maybe something related
Mm.
to computers.
Yes.
Yeah, so went back to school,
Mm.
performed really well. Even the teacher was surprised
Mm.
because I'd learned so
That
much.
was the second term now after failing
Second
the first term.
Second term.
Yeah.
I did so well.
Mm.
Yeah.
And now he started encouraging you like, this is the subject to do, or he was ish about it.
He had no option.
Uh-huh.
At some point, he just because I was performing well and there was nothing for him to worry
To
about.
point out, yeah.
Which he performed very well after KCC.
Ah.
That's how my high school was.
Ah. By the way, were you monolized? You know.
So when I went to the first school, I was lucky
Mm.
because I became number one. I became a prefect
Mm.
the first few weeks.
Ah, okay.
After that,
Mm.
and then found a neighbor
Mm.
who was in Form 4. In that
So you had a guardian.
yeah, so he protected me.
But people used to be monolized.
People used to be, but not very bad.
Mm.
Just making students do stupid things.
Mm.
Yeah. So for me, I can't say that I was. So I'll say that I was not monolized.
Mm.
For me, I had a.
Do you think monolization has a significance in anything?
See, monolization is basically bullying.
Mm.
Yeah, and for someone who is young,
Mm.
like Form 1,
Mm.
so if it's very serious, it can affect them.
Mm.
Yeah, but for me, I didn't experience that, so I think I was okay. But I think for people who go through that, it can affect them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen many students who don't want to go to boarding school
Because of specifically they don't want to be
sometimes
monolized.
maybe they've gone through things they can't say.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hear sometimes, like nowadays, it gets really bad. People even are sodomized, which is extreme, given the circumstances, psychology of that, and then what it does to you as a person, even the self-esteem can affect like your whole life and how you deal with issues. Yeah. So, though I understand also there's some schools, like one of the schools that I went to, the monolization was not the monolization of bullying. So it was more of intellectual monolization. Like someone would tell you, well, it's still bullying because I don't see why someone would get you into that. But for me, it was fascinating in such a way that someone would tell you to draw a map of Africa and show them where your home is. And you see with the scale, that's next to impossible, right?
Yeah.
Of course, you'll get it wrong. So from that point, maybe you might learn geography or something. Yeah. But it's either way, it's not good. I'm
it
not.
Seems
I'm not.
The school you went to was really good.
Well, that's a story for another day. Not even the first school, because this is not something that was done to me. It was done to others. And I thought, by the way, if to some extent, this is kind of fascinating because if you look at it in the essence of how you study, how you find your way home and stuff like that, it's something that you can use to your advantage. But besides that, I don't think also it's good because it puts someone in a position they don't want to be in.
Yeah, very true.
And it's frustrating. So yeah. So you're finished your high school. Did you ace it?
Yeah, got good grades. Yeah, and joined Nairobi University.
University of Nairobi. Ah, nice. That's where we met, by the way. Day one. Yeah.
During the orientation.
Yes. So, how was that experience for you? By the way, I've never talked about this because I have my story. Maybe you have your story. Maybe when I get to tell
meeting.
No, the experience now in
joining,
yes. Was it like, University of Nairobi is one of the best universities in Africa. It's the best university in East and Central Africa, I think. Yeah. And also is one of the best.
One of the best.
Yeah. So here you are in primary school, you are, playing around. Yeah. Now you have joined, like things are aligning. Yeah. So how was that? Or it was just normal until?
For me, it was not normal.
Yeah.
Because I really worked hard to get to that point. And like for me, I felt like I was very like I fulfilled or like I felt like I've achieved something big, and there was more to come.
Yes.
Because I'm in the right place at the right time, and I wanted to learn coding because in high school also we weren't taught coding that much. So I wanted to really learn more, and also Bill Gates and other entrepreneurs. That motivated me. Did computer science, so I knew I was in the right place, and I need to learn as much as possible. And also being in Nairobi, coming from Coast, being in Nairobi was also really good because Nairobi is the capital city. This is where opportunities are.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I felt I've achieved something big.
The center of action.
Yes.
It's a New York of Africa here now.
Yeah.
That's what people are calling it.
Yeah. So for me, being in Nairobi, doing computer science, the opportunities were endless.
And by the way, I have to ask this, though we have never talked about this. Then there was, degrees like software engineering offered, I think, by Kenyatta University.
Mm-hmm.
There is a computer science and mathematics by Jake Watt.
Yeah.
There is BBIT, offered by, I think, USIU, Strathmore, all these guys.
Yeah.
Which still is leads to one way or the other in software engineering.
Yeah.
Did you consider those? What like?
I considered so many things.
From there.
And I really researched extensively. That's what I normally tell people who are joining universities or people who want to do different courses.
Yes.
So because you might pick computer science, but when you look at the content,
yes,
the curriculum,
yes,
maybe it's not something you like.
Yes.
So I'm an engineer, so I like electronics, I like mechanicals,
yes,
I like mechanics. Yeah, I like computers. So I researched extensively, like all those courses.
Yes.
Courses with computer science.
Yes.
Like computer science with mathematics. So I researched.
Yes.
And my goal was clear.
Yes.
I need to go into entrepreneurship and build software.
Yes.
And also, like, thinking about entrepreneurship, I wanted to pick a line that would be easy to set up because, like, you're looking for a path where...
And capital is not one of the things that you have.
Yes. So if I had enough resources, I could have picked electronics engineering.
Or mechatronic.
Or, yeah. Or that.
From Dedan Kimathi. Yeah.
Other courses.
Yes.
But then, see, if you want to start and also see, thinking about Kenya, in terms of also being hired at the electronics company in Kenya. Not really.
So if you're in Japan, electronic would be really big, China.
Yeah, so I'll go work for maybe one of the companies like Samsung or other companies and I'll learn so much. But in East Africa, or maybe Africa in general, those companies, they might be there, small ones, but in general, like, they're not there.
So you're saying environment should advise you who you are, your capabilities, the opportunities available for you, and also the resources that are at disposal that you can use if there's... Because one thing that I've also, and I think most guys should understand this, that if even if you go to the university at the moment, there's no assurance that there are jobs waiting for you. People take 5 to 10 years or 15 years to even get their first stable job. So in your mind, do you like say, because I want to do entrepreneurship, did that advise you?
So the jobs didn't really matter for me because I'm a person who believes in passion. And in fact, when I picked computer science in high school, computer science was not like popular.
Yes.
At that time.
Yes. There were like 3 universities who were providing computer science.
Most students who performed well went to do other courses like medicine maybe actuarial science and business related courses. But I picked computer science because I'd researched, and that was what I wanted to do. It aligned with my goals. Yeah, and but because many people are saying, "Oh, computer science is not popular or marketable," so I approached this principal of that school.
Yes.
The high school.
The Memon.
Memon High School.
Yes.
So I asked him. So I went for advice. People are saying this is not marketable, it's not popular. What do you think? And he said,
yes,
in each and every field, there are successful people.
Yes.
And in each and every business, there are successful people.
Yes.
So if you go to these offices, you'll find the executives, whether it's business, whether it's medicine, like very prominent doctors. So it might not be popular, but be those people.
Be among the few.
Be among the few. Yeah, if that's your goal, if that's the direction where you want to be the best, then it's okay.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
So by the time you're coming to do computer science, you want to be the best.
Yes.
Ah, nice. So, I think that's about it for your background and where you've come from to university.
Yeah.
And I'm now curious about how was this experience at the university? Because most of the universities will come to have good time.
Yeah.
If you had studied so hard in high school,
Yeah.
you want to come here and have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Maybe even start, a family. Others come into, drug abuse.
Yeah.
Others want to come to the city.
Yeah.
Others, come to the city to look for opportunity.
Yeah.
To run away from the poverty. So they know there is no going back.
Yeah.
What was it for you?
So for me, it was all about learning. So it's not like I was not going to have fun. I didn't have fun. So for me, it was learning.
Then everything else.
Exploit any opportunity that comes my way.
Yes.
Yeah. So and the first thing was I need to learn so much in terms of coding. Yeah, I started interacting with people online on Facebook. I joined different groups of people who are coding, like groups for C++ on Facebook. Interacted with people all over the world, mostly US, even Philippines. Got friends who helped me and mentored me, and I was learning so much more than what I was learning in school.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was a goal. Because I wanted to learn coding as fast as possible.
Yes.
So that I start doing, because if you look at Bill Gates, they started early.
Yes.
They started the company while they were still in doing the degree, computer science degree, and many others.
Yes.
So I knew there was no time to waste.
You're already late.
I'm already
You're
late.
late to the party.
I'm already late.
So you have to double the work that needs to be done.
Yeah. So I needed to learn and then start doing businesses or build software. Yeah. And started working with a number of companies. I became a consultant while I was still in university. Yeah.
Well, here you are in first year, of course. Now you want to build software. But the first thing that you are studying is not building software. And this is maybe someone who want to know, how is that process like? Did that discourage you in any way, or did it motivate you, or did you understand why you need to understand all these other, basics, mathematics, communication skills, discrete math, algebra, and whatnot?
Yeah. See, before I picked computer studies,
Yes.
and afterwards, before I picked the university,
Yes.
I was looking at the curriculums. Yeah.
So you had an idea what to
So
expect.
I'll go through the course structure, like what are people doing in first year, in second year, in third year, fourth year, which, and then Of course, there were some units that were new to me.
Yes.
I would Google, research about them.
Yes.
Does this align to what I want to do?
Yes.
So I went through the entire curriculum.
Yes.
And everything in that curriculum, I liked it. Maybe there is most of it. Yeah, most of it, I liked it and decided this is what I want to do. So for me, like, I knew what was coming.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew what was coming.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you just wanted to learn. And in one way or the other, I think we mentioned some of the things that can determine how you learn. And one thing you didn't mention is the instructor or the lecturer or the teacher.
Yeah.
That also can affect you really big deal.
Very
right?
true.
In the university, did you experience that? Because I understand some of the lecturers could just come, 2, 3, 4 lectures, then give you a lot of assignments and assume, this guy is good to be examined.
Yes, but university is different.
Yes.
Like students and the lecturers are not so close compared to like high school, where
yes,
teacher will like guide you. You take notes together. If something is not clear, they explain to you. In university, it's different. The lecturer comes, they give you a lecture very fast, like a quick walkthrough, and then the subject is over.
Yes.
So, but I think what I learned, or maybe what the university experience is,
Yes.
is that in high school, maybe the teacher will contribute maybe 40% of what you're studying.
Yes.
In university, it would be something lower, maybe like 5%.
Yes.
Then 95% is up to you.
So 30% is group work. Another maybe 40% is your effort.
Yeah.
And maybe another 20% is how smart or how easy you can grasp some of these concepts.
Yeah. In fact, like 95% is you.
It's
So whether you want to take part in groups,
yes, that's up to you.
Whether you want to do the assignments, it's up to you.
Do research, it's up to you.
Yeah.
And I remember there was some books which there was only one book in the university for certain subjects.
Yeah.
And most of the time that book was not available in the library. So one could borrow that book, and by the time someone is returning the book, someone else is waiting to just take the book. So most probably if you're not around the campus, or you're this guy who just don't know who has the book, and when they're returning it, you'll never get that book.
Yeah.
But you'll be examined based on the content in that book.
Yeah.
So how are you able to hack some of these subjects?
For me, it was.
And I know that also is happening right now in the universities.
So what really helped me was reading ahead.
Yes.
Because that's what I learned, and that's what like my father always told me to do, or advised me to do. So before you go into a class, know what you're going to study. Prepare for that. In fact, just prepare for questions.
Yes.
As opposed to questions and maybe understanding more.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we started a course, or maybe we started a unit, I will ask the former people, like if I'm in Form 2, I'll ask students who are in, if I'm in second year, I'll ask for students who are in maybe
third year and fourth year.
Do they have materials for this unit? And they'll share with me, I'll go through them. And for me, I was able to, it was not that hard. Yeah. So because I was prepared, and also internet was there. So if we didn't have enough books, most of the time I would research online.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. So in that context, did you try to look for a job while studying?
In first year, I think we were together. We looked for a job.
Yes.
In the land of opportunity.
Yes, you're in the capital city.
So we should get jobs.
Yes. And we're the smart. I mean, the best university.
Yeah.
So you must be very smart.
We're doing computer science. We have ideas.
Yes.
Yeah. So looked for a job.
Did you look for a job or prepare the CV first or the resume?
Prepared the CV. And all it had were like units.
Yes.
Zero experience.
Yes. And by the way, we're not looking only for a job. We're also looking for internship, like the practical experience.
In fact, it was more of an
Yes.
internship.
Yes.
So that time we used to call it attachment.
Yes.
Yeah, you get attached to like a company and
Yes.
learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who came with the idea we start from the 5th Avenue, Gong Road, to where it ends?
Oh, that's where we started.
That's where we started.
Yeah.
By Futsubishi.
Yeah. we were very ambitious and aggressive that time.
Yes. We dropped a lot of CVs, I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't know if you remember that experience.
Yeah.
And I think anytime we walked outside the door, the CV was dropped in the dustbin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I remember, like what is, I remember clearly is the company where I think we asked for like the boss. We were told the boss was not there. They asked us, what do you want? We said we're looking for an attachment or an internship.
Yes.
They asked, do you have a CV? We said, yes, we have. So I think it was a lady. So we gave that lady our CV and said, I'll give it to the boss when he comes back. And they'll contact us.
They'll loop. They call it looping back. Circle back.
Yeah.
Circle back to you.
But at that time, it was not like they're going to, like it's a corporate term. So if they say we're going to maybe like circle it or maybe discuss it and then you're going to
get in touch.
So at that time, it was more of we'll call you or we'll tell you. And then after 2 weeks, there was no communication. I think we waited for a bit more. We decided to go back. And we asked that lady, you said you're going to call us. You didn't call us. So we are here. We thought maybe it was a bit difficult to communicate to us.
Yes.
Maybe it was more work for you to call us.
So we are here. We have availed ourselves.
Yeah, instead of calling us, tell us we're here.
Yes.
We were very persistent.
Yes.
And I think...
but then what happened to that? I can't remember what actually she told us because nothing actually materialized from that conversation.
I think because we were very persistent and we were not getting the message that we can't get the job, she ended up telling us just that. That
this is not going to happen.
Yeah. And next time when someone tells you they'll call you, wait for the call.
Nothing is happening.
They don't call you, assume.
Nothing is happening. No action.
Yeah, the job has gone just like that.
But then there was no even job. I don't think even those CVs got to the right people. And I know that this actually happens a lot, especially when right now the economy is not doing really well.
Yeah.
And I even in even first world country, people are laid off en masse.
Yeah.
It's not cool because these are experienced people.
Yeah.
They build solutions every day.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to know that sometime also creating your own opportunity. Because from that point, that's when I decided I'm not going to get employed. I don't know if you know about this, but to me, I decided this is not something I'm willing to do until like 10 years later.
Yeah.
And because of Corona, that's when I consider I need to know how corporate works.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll be able to tell that in full on another episode for people to get the context.
Yeah, looking forward to hear that story.
For sure. Everyone wants to hear it, and I think I should tell it sooner than later. But did this discourage you? Did it even give you more drive to hey, I think entrepreneurship is one thing I want to pursue?
There's a bit of discouragement.
Yeah.
But I noticed, or what I knew is the reason we couldn't get the job is we didn't have experience. So the solution is to get the experience. Yeah. Yeah. And, for computer science, it's different compared to other courses.
Yes.
Computer science is about the
practicality.
Skills, what you know, what you can build, what you can show. Yeah. So I decided to focus on that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, focusing on that, if my mind serves me well, did the intellectual at the University of Nairobi at one point challenge you like, hey, these are guys from, you're in Memon. And Memon is one amongst good schools, high schools, but there are better schools, which they are called the, right?
Yeah.
And these are the guys you meet at the University of Nairobi.
Yeah.
At one point, did that really even challenge you more now that, you wanted more challenge?
So, number one, it felt good.
Yeah.
Because meeting with people who come from national schools.
Yes.
Best schools.
Yes.
So I liked it. So it felt it made me feel good. I'm studying with these people.
Yes, you are the right place.
Like I came from
nowhere.
Yeah, from nowhere, like primary school, which was remote. I didn't perform well.
Yes.
High school, that was like very remote.
Yes.
Underperforming.
Yes.
So attending the same university, being in the same class with this student made me feel
amazing. Yeah.
And I knew that my journey has just started.
Yeah.
And so they inspired me. I learned a bit, or maybe some things from them.
Yes.
Yeah, how they communicate, how they approach things.
Yes.
Yeah, so that also helped me.
Yeah.
Now,
which was your favorite language in the university? Because I remember we used to, and I think even that's the case right now. So guys are taught using C, things like assembly. Basically those and Java.
Yeah.
But when we were graduating on the ground, those languages, unless you are hired by Microsoft or Google or maybe these FANG companies.
Yeah.
But if you're getting hired locally, maybe you need to know things like Ruby, which is a good language to bootstrap. And we'll talk about that because there's a whole story around that. Things like Python, things like, I don't know if JavaScript then was a thing.
Not so much.
Yeah. But basically Python, Ruby, C++, C#. C# actually was a big thing then.
Yeah.
So how was that for someone who really want to understand if you're going to go to the university, you're going to get, actually even the 5% you talked about, you're not being taught. You're taught how to learn, right?
Yeah.
How are you able to now grasp this knowledge and start using it to learn what you don't know? Because if you're taught how to learn, of course, you're not being taught.
In fact, they give you information and explain things to you. So you have to take initiative and learn, ask questions. So that's why I said the 95%, which is all up to you. But about languages, so first year we did languages like Java, C++, and other languages. So they're okay for me. And one day we were taught artificial intelligence programming, and the lecturer used a language called Ruby, a Ruby programming language. And then for us to do the artificial intelligence programming, we had to learn Ruby. And he came with one pager.
Yes.
It was a 1-page PDF.
Yes.
With everything we need to know about Ruby.
Yes.
So that was amazing for me because it took a long time.
Yes.
To learn and so much effort to learn languages like Java, C++.
Yes.
And Ruby, it's been presented as a 1-pager, and I've grasped like 30% of it in day one.
Amazing. Yeah, I remember that experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and I decided this is the language I want to learn. The reason being, if I'm able to learn it that fast,
Yes.
That means like this language is simple.
Yes.
And for me, I didn't want to make my life difficult.
Yes.
At that point, I wanted to do consulting.
Yes.
And also, I was still a student.
Yes.
So I needed to, and for consulting, I want to build software.
Yes.
And if I have to build software, I need to use tools and languages that will enable me like develop software very fast.
Yeah.
So, and Ruby was the right language for that. So I could build, what I started with is building a blog within a few minutes.
Yes.
Using other language, it will take me more time.
Yes.
So I decided this is the language I'm going to be using for consulting and to build my products for customers.
Yeah.
Decided to learn more of that. Became really good at it.
Yes.
Then started doing consulting, build software for like a number of organizations.
And we started a company out of that.
Yeah, started a company called Banta. We traveled so many places in Kenya.
So when we come back, we'll talk more about consulting, software development, even we should tell people how much we're able to make at that point. To just maybe as an not to boost, but as an inspiration to someone who, is looking for ways to like sustain, their way of doing stuff. So at this point, thank you very much. And this was the Impact Masters Media. We're having this conversation with